Et salut, moi c'est Pi.o et bienvenue sur ma chaîne YouTube géniale. On va commencer sur les chapeaux de roue avec une première vidéo sur healhitler, le jeu où je dois soigner les problèmes psychologiques du Führer pour pas que la Seconde Guerre mondiale ait lieu.
This game was created by one developer
Donc
and two voice actors.
voilà, petite
It is a
préface,
psychology
faut
simulator
pas
taking
oublier
place in
que le nazisme
1995,
c'est mal
before Hitler came to
et
power.
que
It is a
on
game
est
about
tous des
resolving Hitler's
humains et
trauma
qu'il faut se
and
respecter.
preventing
Voilà.
catastrophe via
Allez,
therapy and psychology.
voilà.
Hello, Mr. Hitler. It is very nice to meet you.
Guten Tag.
Continue. Guten Tag. Automatique conversation. Je sais tout. Hitler, moi. On va lui demander conseil.
Well, you can lie down on the sofa there. And what brings you into therapy today?
Well, I just returned from giving a public speech, and my colleagues mentioned that I seem too angry. Once I overheard them talking about me, and they called me an angry little man.
And do you agree with them?
I don't think so. They lack willpower, so I don't really value what they have to say anyway. They are just minions.
When they commented on your being angry, do you know what you were talking about during the speech?
About the state of Germany. It was very humiliating for our country to lose the Great War. And now we have to pay reparations, and our army is restricted. Our economy is in shambles. I feel humiliated, and someone is at fault here.
Well, yes, that must feel humiliating. I noticed you mentioned Germany as your country, but on the telephone, you mentioned that you are Austrian.
I am, but I refuse to fight for Austria-Hungary. I absolutely hate them, but I would do anything for Germany. There is no better nation.
Why do you feel that Germany is the best
C'est pour ça qu'il faut s'abonner.
It's an idea I got when I was listening to Wagner. I had it for some time, you see, but later I learned it was called Pan-Germanism. I want to unite all the German-speaking people into one nation. We have to get back what is ours. They took it from us in the Great War. It was a horrible loss.
And when did you make the decision to fight for Germany instead of Austria-Hungary?
It was in my adolescence when I thought of this. My father loved Austria-Hungary. He worked in the Austrian civil service and he wanted me to do the same thing. We fought a lot about that. What a horrible guy he was. I hated him, but at least he taught me not to trust the authorities. Anyway, I enlisted in the Bavarian army and they accepted me. So I was able to slip in through the cracks without problem. No one noticed.
You say you don't trust authorities. But how do you explain that you are an authority yourself?
C'est vrai ça.
Should the people distrust you because of that?
Distrust me? Of course not. I am
En fait, si
reliable
tu
and
comprends pas l'anglais,
trustworthy.
cette
It
vidéo
is
va
the
avoir aucun
us
sens pour
with
toi
the
parce que
powers
je vais
that are
pas
not,
traduire tout le
especially in the
texte.
financial and
Ça
the
va faire.
education systems.
Donc, voilà. Oh! Ah, faut réfléchir. Ok, donc toi tu sais bien gérer le point et pas les autres. Do you want to talk? Ok. Je sais pas, il y a un traumatisme avec le père qui aime trop le pays, mais il y a un traumatisme avec l'humiliation de la guerre, donc les deux peuvent être intéressants. Mais la famille d'Hitler c'est pas intéressant, on préfère la guerre ici.
Can
Allez.
you tell me more about what war was like for you?
What the war was like? Well,
beaucoup
I
parler,
was
là.
a messenger, so I was pretty safe most of the time, except for when we were at Wervik in Belgium, when the British attacked. They used the yellow gas and I could not put on the mask in time. My eyes were burning and I could not see a thing. They took me to this field hospital where the doctor said I was just acting. How dare he? The doctor was nothing but another authorities that made me distrust all of them. I could not believe this. I was horribly scared. I felt so helpless. I was never this close to dying before. And the doctor tells me I was just acting. And the horrors I saw at Passchendaele. I could not sleep for months.
I saw at Passchendaele, je ne connais pas cet endroit. I think ici s'expérience que... Oui, on va pas dire, je pense que vous étiez juste... Enfin, On va pas énerver Adolf Hitler, donc on va y aller gentiment. Je pense que t'as des problèmes à cause de ça.
I think this experience could be what you are struggling with. It is common among soldiers to experience an exceptional emotional distress that could sometimes lead to temporary blindness. If your nervous system was overloaded, it could have ceased to take any further input.
Donc, il serait pas
Doctors
devenu
today
aveugle à
are
cause
calling
des
it shell
gaz,
shock.
mais à cause du stress.
That would explain a lot, but I still feel humiliated sometimes. I should not have been that weak. I should have been stronger than that.
Et parce qu'il se sent humilié, il veut devenir très fort. Est-ce qu'on prend le chemin où vous êtes un homme humilié ou... Mais c'est la faute de... allez.
You said that you think that losing the war
Oui,
was
c'était la
somebody's
faute
fault?
de qui, d'après toi, Adolphe?
Well, while I was in prison, I had a lot of time to think about this. And I am positive it was the Jews, the Marxists, and the Bolsheviks.
Les
They
Juifs,
stabbed us in the
les
back. They are a
communistes
cancer.
et les
They are a
bolcheviks.
deadly virus to the beautiful and the lovely body of Germany, infecting us from the inside. I
J'ai
despise
précisé
them.
que bien évidemment...
Parasites, they disgust me. I wish I could just
ce jeu n'est
eliminate
pas
them
de
from the
ne
surface
pas
of the
respecter
earth.
des gens,
The
hein.
Jews are involved with
C'est
the
de-
communists in a conspiracy to take over the world. I
C'est un
think
jeu
that
intérêt
3/4 of all the
historique,
communists
faut
are
pas prendre
Jews.
ça au premier
This
degré.
combination of Jews and Marxists
Chacun a
has
son
already
avis,
been
vraiment.
successful in Russia, and now it threatens the rest of Europe.
You seem very passionate about this. But if I recall correctly, you came here because your colleagues described some of your speeches
Voilà, on
as being very
est
angry.
méchant et on en revient
This
toujours
could be
aux
what your
Juifs avec
colleagues are
Adolf Hitler.
referring to. I think you need to be patient about establishing your political program. You won't get very far if you alienate the public. After all, they elect you. And for that, they need to trust you and see you as a responsible leader.
Ok.
If you start
On est en
talking
train quand
about
même de donner des conseils à
eliminating
Hitler pour qu'il
Jews,
soit
you won't get anywhere.
un bon
Maybe you
leader.
didn't choose the
Je
ideal
sais pas si ça va
approach
marcher.
here.
What do you suggest then? It is not just me that thinks this, I hope you know. The German people also think the Jews are to blame. It has been this way since I became the leader of the Workers' Party. I hear the anti-Semitic remarks everywhere I go.
Donc,
You
tu
must
dis qu'il y a
know
des
how long
antisémites
it took the
partout et qu'il
Prussian
n'est pas
generals
seul,
to
ok.
prepare for the last war. And that revolutionaries like Mussolini need the will of the people behind them. Slogans,
Pas moyen
especially
de-
ideological ones like anti-Semitism and anti-clericalism, won't bring starving people to the barricades. Why do you and your followers spread hatred toward Jews
Cool, hein.
and papal authority?
C'est vrai que je m'y connais
We can
beaucoup en
be political
psychologie.
opponents,
Je
but if you
comprends pas la
want to
moitié de
lead
ce
an
qu'il dit.
entire nation into a better future, we need one another. Bring back the old order of God. How about you write your vision down? It would
How
help you
about you
plan for
write
your
your vision
future.
down, it would help.
I've already done this while I was in prison. I had
Ah,
plenty
j'ai
of time
peur.
to
J'ai
write
cru
my
que
book,
j'étais en train
even
d'encourager
so I
Hitler
am
à
not
écrire
so
Mein
good at
Kampf.
the writing. When I am speaking in public, the right word always comes natural to me, but not so much when I am writing.
Que-
Well, that you are already writing your thoughts down is good. Let's use that to identify your main thoughts and feelings during the day. I want you to keep a daily journal of people and situations that
Le journal
trigger an
intime
emotional
d'Adolf Hitler, en
response
fait.
in you.
On demande
Maybe
à
other
Adolf
people
Hitler
are
de
seeing
faire un
these
petit
things you
journal
are doing as anger.
On va peut-être pouvoir
If we
lire.
journal this, we can have a better understanding of what they see and what you see.
Je vais lire le journal
Record your
intime d'Adolf
feelings
Hitler.
and we will talk about it in the next session.
C'est un
Very
privilège,
well.
non?
I will give this a try.
You didn't tell me about your prison experience yet. What happened?
I was supposed to be executed for my role in the beer hall putsch, but they didn't know I would use the trial as a showcase for my political views. It was free publicity, and I won. I
Oui,
managed
c'est
to
ça,
get
il est en
the
prison
sentence
parce
down
qu'il
from
a raté un coup
execution
d'État.
to just 5 years imprisonment. And they let me go after a few months for good behavior. I also read a lot, so it was basically a free education at the state's expense. I read Henry Ford's autobiography, and he made a lot of sense
Ce sont les
when he
Juifs
talked about the Jews.
qui gouvernent
It
les
is
échanges
the Jews, after all,
américains,
who governs the American Stock Exchange,
tous les
which
ans
every year makes the Jews
donnent
more and more
plus
the controlling
de
masters of a
pouvoir
nation of
aux
120
Juifs.
million. There is only a single great man, Henry Ford, that still maintains his full independence from them, and they hate him for it.
Ok. Est-ce que je peux arrêter la session enfin on continue,
Tell me
on va
more
pas perdre de
about
temps.
the beer hall putsch.
Well, I got around 2,500 members of my party together, and we planned to overthrow the local government.
2,500.
The police got
25
involved,
000.
some people died, and I escaped and hid in my press spokesman's house. I couldn't take the loss, you see, and I almost
Il y avait
committed
25 000
suicide, but his
personnes
wife,
qui étaient
she talked
prêtes
me out
à
of
se
it, and then I
castagne
was arrested.
et ils sont fait
And
arrêter par
are
la
you
police.
still having suicidal thoughts?
Ils étaient
No,
25
of
000.
course not. I was desperate back
La
then.
police, ils étaient
That
une
was a long
centaine tout
time
au
ago, you
plus.
see, and now I have the support of my followers, and they actually listen to me now. I will definitely use the advice you gave me today
Hitler
to adjust
dit
my
qu'il
political
se sent un
program.
peu
I am glad to hear
supporté
that.
par les gens qui le
Well, we
suivent.
are at the end of our time. Why don't we stop here? We will talk in the next session about the other issues you mentioned, but make sure you bring me at least one journal, so we have something to work with.
Ok. Hitler. En une session de 10 minutes, j'ai convaincu Adolf Hitler de quitter le NSDAP. Est-ce que je vais sauver la Terre? Cool, j'espère.
Did you write any journals since we last saw each other?
Actually, no. I didn't find time to do this, but
Okay.
I remember one event
Alors là, par
from the
contre, ça
past
fait
when I
11
was in
minutes que
emotional
j'enregistre.
stress, and I am sure of the
Donc on
cause.
va s'arrêter là
Okay,
parce que
great.
pas non plus
Can you describe the
exagérer.
event?
Si je fais tout en une vidéo, ça va pas marcher. Faut en faire plusieurs. Techniques de business de youtubeur. Alors, abonnez-vous, likez et à plus.